In accordance with the International Day of Families initiated by the United Nations every May 15th, and in the mission to spread peace and tolerance to youth and children in Indonesia, the Voice of Peace have prepared a particular program. Joining me here at the studio, we have Princess Cheryl Halpern, International Founder of VOP, and also Princess Natasha Dematra, Executive Director of VOP, to talk more about this. Hello, good afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us here in TVR World Studio. We are very excited to talk to you about VOP and also Family Day commemoration. Now, this is not your first visit to TVR World, so I'm sure our viewers are already familiar with VOP and the great work that you've done so far. But today in particular, I would love to talk about how you celebrated International Family Day by visiting child and youth inmates at the Tangerang Children and Youth Penitentiary and also the Jakarta Children and Youth Penitentiary. Could you please explain to us why you chose these activities to commemorate the International Family Day?
Natasha, I'm going to defer to you.
Okay. So we are going to make Visions of Peace initiative inside the children's prison. And there we're going to make, we're going to do about spectrum of arts and modalities and everything. We want to inspire them about peace and tolerance using the spectrum of arts like music, drawings, and everything that is art. And our mission to go there by celebrating Family Day together with them is also to bring hope for them that they can make a better world and also about peace and tolerance.
So most of the activities are art inspired. How did they respond to these activities?
Well, we will be making that happen to reality tomorrow.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. But from your experience so far, how has been art-related activities be received by, the children in Indonesia?
They were very, very, very happy. They were very we were very in awe with them. Like, wow, they were very, their arts were very beautiful.
Okay.
Their visions of a beautiful tomorrow, of a peaceful tomorrow was very, I think an adult can even compare to how a child could make their visions through art.
It's actually quite heartwarming to hear that, these children who are basically going through hard times right now, probably one of the bleakest moments in their life, being kept in a penitentiary. Is that the reason why you chose this particular group of children to celebrate the International Family Day?
Well, it's a little bit more difficult for me to respond coming from the United States.
Yeah.
But the notion of providing hope to children, where the family is so important, and unfortunately, at least in the United States, in New York, for example, those in the juvenile detention centers come from families where there is distress, where there is either impoverishment or there could be abuse. So it becomes very important to celebrate Family Day and celebrate the families that we hope they will have, enjoy, support, and then, as Natasha said, have hope going forward.
Yes, hope is indeed one of the most powerful
weapon.
Weapon, of course. Now, I hear that the inmates are given practical workshops so they can continue their lives upon their release from prison. Is this true? They're going to have workshops and activities that will give them inspiration on what to do when they
Visions of Peace is the workshops that are going to give them inspiration, which we will be bringing to them tomorrow.
Okay. Now, however, it has been a public secret that those spending lives in prisons, they actually improve their criminal skills and knowledge while serving their terms behind bars. And sadly, in reality, most of them end up back in their criminal acts with increased skills and sometimes even more violence. Now, from your perspective, how could we end this vicious crime cycle?
Again, my frame of reference is somewhat different than what we might find tomorrow and the next day. However, we have found that through education, counseling, training, providing vocational skills, support, there is a likelihood that a first offender might learn to value themselves in a better perspective and not necessarily repeat the offense that brought them to the detention center for this first experience. There are never any guarantees, but you try.
Yeah, and it gives them a sense of confidence that they have this new skill that they can implement when they get released from detention, right?
It's a degree of rehabilitation and then reintegration into society as a more mature, self-disciplined individual.
But based on your experience so far, what has been the biggest challenge in inspiring hope in these children? What do you think, Natasha?
I think the biggest challenge, perhaps, I think the biggest challenge is maybe finding, at the first years, was kind of hard because we're trying to implement making the peaceful for tomorrow, and then with the very great help from Princess Cheryl Halpern, connecting us together with all the children loves her. That's why when we were like, okay, Princess Cheryl Halpern's gonna be here, and they were like more happy, more welcome. It becomes easier right now.
Okay, how do you connect with these children, Princess Cheryl?
Well, art is a universal language. I don't speak Bahasa, I don't speak Balinese, and they don't speak English. But when we share the art that they have created, or the music that they're singing, it doesn't matter that we don't speak the same spoken language, because the body language, the embrace of art and music unites us. So it's one big happy family. And that's what we do with each other.
It is so wonderful to hear. Now, if there's one thing you would like to tell people about maybe the misconceptions that most people have about these children, what would you say?
Children in general, or children that we anticipate meeting in the juvenile detention center?
Especially children in the juvenile detention centers.
All too often, adults tend to think of taking a child who's created an offense, putting them in a cell, locking it and throwing away the key. That there isn't hope for them. That there isn't an expectation for rehabilitation. My expectation is a little bit different. My hope and my perspective is they can be rehabilitated if we provide the support. And that tends to be what is absent. There is a degree of, oh my, who cares? Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to be there? Who's going to mentor me?
What's the point?
Exactly. But by our going there, we're saying, you do matter. We are going to listen to you. You are important. And we're going to help if you will open your heart, your mind to us.
I think I just got a tingle right there, Princess Cheryl, when you said those words. And it makes me realize maybe a lot of people actually would love to join this movement. Is there a way to find out more about VOP and be a part of it?
You can definitely check about our work in visionsofpeaceinitiative.com, and also to connect with us in visionsofpeaceawards@gmail.com. We are very welcome.
I'm sure people watching right now would love to know more how they can be a part of this great work that you're doing right now. Now, after this International Day of Families activity, what are the VOP's plan for future programs in facilitating the young generation in voicing peace and tolerance through art and creativity? Maybe you can tell us a little bit of teasers for upcoming programs.
We have already dealt with several 100,000 Indonesian children on the different islands.
Wow.
And there are so many more Indonesian children with whom to engage. And the most important thing is to remember the golden rule. The Visions of Peace Initiative is founded on the ethic of reciprocity, The golden rule is in every faith, whether you are a Buddhist, a Hindu, Jewish, Christian, Muslim.
Yeah.
We all have this: do unto others as you would want to have done to yourself, and don't do what you don't want to have done to yourself. Civility needs to be taught. It is not in the human genome.
Yeah.
And so the challenge for us is to continue doing what we've been doing for the last 5 years. We're into year 6 right now. And to remind the children, the teachers, their parents, remember every day that ethic of reciprocity. So I'll say thank you. You'll say you're welcome. Open the door for somebody who is carrying packages. Small things mean a lot.
The good work must continue, and we have to just keep on appreciating one another.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, now to close our conversation, actually it's too short. I would love to talk more about these wonderful programs that you're having. Hopefully we have another chance in the future.
Please God.
But for now, maybe you can tell us your hopes and wishes, especially for the upcoming program for VOP.
Our hope is definitely to inspire every child that's been part of Visions of Peace initiative. We hope that if we can inspire even just one child, our mission has been fulfilled. But if we can inspire more and more children, hundreds, more than thousands, if we can inspire all of them, I think Visions of Peace initiative has just become we are very blessed. And we hope we can continue keep doing this work and inspire others to make a better world, especially in these times.
Wonderful.
Imagine a 14-year-old who writes, "Thank you for teaching me how to be at peace with myself. Now I can be at peace with others." That says it all.
Yes, and that must be such a reward for you after doing all those hard work. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
all the beautiful work you've been doing with the children in Indonesia, and I hope to hear even more about your programs in the future. Thank you, Princess Cheryl. Thank you, Princess Natasha, for coming in.
To be continued.
To be continued, of course. I'm sure we're going to be meeting up again
Can't
in
wait.
the future. Take care, Princess Cheryl, Princess Natasha.
Thank you.
Now, that was a very lovely conversation that I had with our special guest for today, but sadly, that is the end of our program. Thank you so much for tuning in to Focus Today on TVRI World. I'm Siska Becker. Please stay safe, especially for our loved ones, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.